That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 58 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. And for the first time in ages, when we're doing a review of a pay-per-view, it isn't four of us, it's just three of us. And at this time, you don't know who's here, listeners. Is it going to be your favourite? I'm here, Adam. So yeah, your favourite is here. Sam's here.
Yeah, my favourite.
And Brett's here.
Yay! Hello. Although, can I just say, we all know Sam's everyone's favourite.
I mean, that's entirely untrue. I'm not even my favourite.
No, he's not even his parents' favourite.
Oh!
John's not here, and I really want to slag him off, as is tradition, but he has admitted that he's going to be getting back late from a work thing, and he's going to help with editing the podcast, so he's going to be listening to this.
And that's why John's the favourite.
That's why John's
What a
everyone's
trooper.
favourite. Yeah, what a guy.
Easily.
If we slag him off, he'll probably re-edit some of the stuff we've said to something incriminating. So thanks, John. You're the best. This is Hardest Part of the Ring, and we are going to be discussing WWE Elimination Chamber 2019. Our last podcast was a rewind episode where we went back and watched WrestleMania 17, which was, well, three of us thought it was amazing. Brett, not so much, but it was a lot of fun to record, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We have got Hardest Question of the Week, as usual, coming up later. But before that, we're going to review Elimination Chamber, and we're going to do it after this.
EC3 now has Velveteen Dream on the apron.
Velveteen Dream could be in trouble. Wait.
Counter here by Velveteen.
No way.
Dream Valley Driver on the apron.
WWE Elimination Chamber 2019 was held at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. The second pay-per-view in a row that we've watched from Houston. Because obviously WrestleMania 17 was there.
And that was quite exciting because it also revealed that the next Royal Rumble is at the Minute Maid Arena, which is where the Houston Astros play, which is where I've been to, not the Astro Stadium.
There we go. That was the mystery in the last podcast, and now it's solved.
Yeah. Detective Sam.
Yeah. I don't have an attendance because Wikipedia didn't have one when I checked.
Wow, was it that low?
Really?
Yeah, so should we guess 500?
Yeah, let's make a guess. 16.
16 people.
And 12 of which were in the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah. In fact, I want to talk immediately about somebody in the crowd. Did you see, I can't remember which match it was, but on the ramp, there was a guy who had a sign that said, "Why does nobody have an outie?"
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Oh, that's
I
a
saw
great
another
question.
sign.
I saw a boring Corbin sign.
That's what I saw, yeah. I was like, yes.
No.
So I thought, Brett, you bastard, how dare you go?
Brett, did you design that and send it out there?
Yeah.
No, this guy had a sign that said, "Why does nobody have an outie?" ? And I thought,
Great
that's
question.
weird. And then I thought, actually, no wrestlers have outies.
What's going on there?
Should we have a little
true?
belly button sort of amnesty? I don't think we know this.
Are outies?
Yeah.
Are we coming outie?
Yeah. Sam, are you an innie or an outie?
I'm an innie, mate.
Brett?
Innie.
Yeah, I'm an innie too. So
I think innies are most people have innies, I think.
yeah, I'd agree with that.
When you got a belly like mine, it's always an innie.
When you've got a belly like Baron Corbin's, you've definitely got an innie. He had the biggest innie I've ever seen.
That's weird. It's like loads of people have innies, outies. Baron Corbin has a smiley face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Apparently, only 4% of people have outies. So there you
Well, that's
go.
the answer.
Yeah.
That's
You went deep
Great
into this,
facts.
didn't you?
Yeah, well, literally, I was sort of killing for time then as I Googled that. So,
Adam, I'm going to ask you to not look up the attendance more often.
yeah. Well, I guess the guy who did that sign, that's your answer. Only 4% of people have them. So,
Yeah, and he's one of them, isn't he?
yeah.
He definitely had an outie, and he wanted representation in the WWE universe.
Yeah.
The outies revolution. It's going to be good.
Fast forward 10, 20 years' time, Steph in the ring with a microphone. And you wanted it.
Yes.
We saw that sign, Elimination Chamber 2019, and we listened to you. We gave you what we wanted. And now 96% of the roster have outies. Anyway,
Cool.
we went quite far down that rabbit hole, and I think we should get back on track. I blame John not being here, who definitely has an outie.
Same.
Toyota Center, Houston, Texas. The card consisted of the following matches. We had a pre-show of Akira Tozawa versus Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship. Brett, pre-show Jones, did you watch it?
Yes, I did. And I've only got 2 points to tell you about it.
Okay, go on.
Which are quite obvious ones. Tozawa has the best suicide dives ever.
Okay.
He fully
Huge shout.
goes into them head first. He's not worried about his spine whatsoever.
Huge shout in a world where Big E exists.
Oh, yeah, but it's
like
just the
Travis
speed
Banks.
that Tozawa does it.
Okay.
And he's like literally like a torpedo. Like there's no putting his hands in the way. He's just like going head first.
That's good.
Is it a bit like Arrested Development? Is it like sling me bullet and then
Yeah. And the other is that I bloody love the Murphy's Law finisher,
Yeah, it's
which
a good
is
finisher.
like pump handle into a spinny slam thing.
Just quickly, can you tell me what Murphy's Law is?
No. TV show?
I think it's if something can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
off the
yeah.
top of my head, I think it's a popular adage that states that things will go wrong in any given situation if you give them a chance, or more commonly, whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
Oh, like doing 58 episodes of a podcast about wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Oh God, this is definitely a podcast of tangents. And us getting thrown.
We've gone off. Yeah,
Yeah, so sorry. This is
God.
the thing. John is clearly the glue that holds us together.
he's our anchor and our glue.
He is. So that was the pre-show. The main card started off with the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Then we had Shane McMahon and The Miz versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. The Raw Women's Championship was up next with Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott. Then we had Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin in a no DQ match. And finally, we had the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. We are going to talk about key matches as per usual. We've picked out 3 of those. Then we're going to talk about the best of the rest, the worst of the rest, pick out a star performer, and give the pay-per-view a score out of 10. So, key matches. We're going to do the Women's Elimination Chamber match first, as it was the first one on the card. And obviously a very big deal, considering it was to crown the first ever Women's Tag Team Champions. Now, I watched this, as we all did, otherwise this would be a tough podcast. And I thought it was all right. And shortly after I watched it, we got a text into WhatsApp from Sam. And Sam, what did you say? Something like it was one of the best matches or the best put together matches you've seen on the main roster for a long, long time?
Yep.
Why? Why?
Right. So I went back after watching this and watched it a second time, and it did maybe kind of grounded me a little bit. At the time, I was like, this was amazing. And I still think this was one of the best matches I've seen in a very, very long time, especially on the main roster. I think what I loved about this match was often when you have like 12 people in the ring at a time, it feels a little bit like a car crash or a little bit like a mess where kind of someone's going to get shafted or just kind of generally not get enough screen time. I feel like all 12 women went into this match and came out absolutely shining. All of them had moments which were incredible. Really enjoyable wrestling, some fantastic spots done. Not everything was perfect. There were a few botches here and there, and some timings were a little bit out. But generally, everything was really great.
That's a good point, actually, in terms of everybody getting a chance to shine. I think that is true.
Yeah. They had that great sequence, didn't they? Where, like in those matches now where you've got a good number of people, each person sort of gets their signature moves in, and they had that, and that went on for ages because there was so many of them, and it was like one after the next, and it was like, that was awesome.
This match had a lot going for it, which I really appreciated as I was watching it. Like, first things first, I think kind of even Tamina had a good match here, which is kind of crazy for me. But like, I think kind of one of the things I love about this is that the Iconics, they've come through NXT as a women's tag team before there even was a tag division.
Yes.
Bayley and Sasha, they've been kind of will they, won't they kind of tag teaming, frenemies, kind of all of that for the better part of a year, probably longer. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they came through together onto the main roster and have basically been teamed up now for, again, well over a year. And same with Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. So, this doesn't feel like a typical WWE, here's a bunch of put together teams. It did feel like, actually, they've put the groundwork in here.
Yeah, and I like the fact that these teams came out and we had Fabulous Glow. I mean, obviously, that's not an example of a greatly put together team, but at least they had a name. We had Fire and Desire. They have a name, and they had some ring gear. And in fact, a lot of the teams had matching gear, which is nice. They just need to now sort of get some music that works, which isn't just the first 10 seconds of one person's song and then the rest of the others. But there was some good effort put in that area.
I suppose that's why I like the Iconics so much, just because they are a true women's tag team.
Yeah, and they're hilarious. Their characters are so good,
funny.
Yeah,
and
they provided one of the moments.
Let's talk about that pinning combination.
The whole night. Yeah, exactly. The pin combo was really really good,
flawless.
Yeah,
straight out of NXT. That was in a good way.
And they had the bit earlier on in the match as well when most people were down and the Iconics were just going around trying to pin everybody, like literally just going from body to body trying to pin.
I laughed so hard when Billie Kay got up.
Yeah, the screaming and the trash talking it's amazing.
And then followed up as well by their spot with Tamina and Nia Jax of them hiding in the pod, and then the camera just panning around to them and both of them with the thumbs up. So good. Just an incredibly funny tag team, those guys. Yeah. They remind me of Toru Yano in the best possible way.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just thought this match just had a lot going for it. Some really great spots, some really nice storytelling.
Yeah.
Even kind of having it so it wasn't entirely predictable. Like it maybe felt a little bit obvious that Sasha and Bayley were going to win it. But you know what? I was kind of seeing this being a Nia Jax versus Sasha and Bayley, and everyone else being surplus to requirements, and having them eliminate them third rather than the final two. Just kind of, it gave more credence to Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, who have come on leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Do you think the first elimination was anything to do with recent news?
That was awkward, wasn't it? Yeah, I was surprised that Carmella came out first. I thought they might have had their team sort of slightly thrown in there a bit later, so that it wasn't like, oh, here's Carmella. Oh, and look, Graves is commentating.
Do you know what, though? Kind of Renee Young has clearly taken the higher road here, because the amount of shit that Corey Graves has given his fellow commentators, both him and Tom Phillips in the past, just about outside work relationships and all of that, and now his chickens have come home to roost, and just, you know what? Screw you, Graves.
Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? Because Corey Graves is someone who we could probably put together a little highlight reel from the podcast in the early days where we're all just absolutely loving him and just thinking he's the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm still a fan. I still think he's a total pro in many ways, but yeah.
Do you know what? It's harsh on Graves a little bit.
It is, but at the same time for me, I think I've said this a few times now before, where he's starting to grate.
Yeah, it's becoming Corey Graves.
Because rather than it being like a colour commentator sort of angle, it's like there's a lot more constant digs at his co-commentators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which just gets uncomfortable.
It has been, especially with the Renee Young stuff.
It was funny when it was Booker T, but it's not, because Booker T deserved it, but yeah, Renee doesn't.
But I mean, ultimately, he is kind of playing a character as well, Yeah. He's being a dick because he's paid to be a dick. That's kind of his thing.
Yes. Anyway, back to the match. I have a problem with Elimination Chamber matches, I think. Is that the middle section is just generally way too long and too slow. And I don't understand why they have such big gaps between the pods being opened.
That is weird, isn't it? How long is the gap officially meant to be? Because it certainly didn't feel consistent.
No, and it just it's too long. There's so much time where I was like, God, this is slow, and the same with the men's Elimination Chamber match as well. It's just slow, and I got to admit, I got bored at times where it's like, come on, I know, because there's not much excitement when you know for a fact that you've got to wait for everybody to come out of those pods. You're not really on the edge of your seat when you know that there's still all these other teams to come.
Counter to that, though, is the fact that kind of anyone can get eliminated at any time. Like, kind of those pinfalls still have significance early doors in the match.
Yeah, but even if there was nobody in the ring, you've still got to sit there for however many minutes waiting for them to open. I just think they could be a bit quicker. Like that first match, the women's match that we're talking about, I decided to watch that on my lunch break yesterday just to sort of get started on the pay-per-view. And what with all the entrances and everything, it was like 45 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, better get back to work then.
It was a very long match. I would actually say the start of the match was quite slow.
Yeah.
And I think it picked up really nicely. Again, like, there was just a lot of moments in this match where I was just like, that was really cool. I didn't realise this person was that good. Sonya Deville especially, her spear.
Oh, yeah, her
brutal.
spear is lovely. And she's great. She's brilliant.
And her knee
She's
strikes. Her
Yeah.
Muay Thai knee strikes look great as well. And she does a sliding one, doesn't she? And that always comes across like great.
Yeah, they're a good team.
I definitely like her. I think I've said this before as well, and I do think it's disingenuous to Mandy Rose, but I just think like her push more recently, and therefore like those two being in the final two in this match, I think Sonya Deville is like definitely, I think she's better. I don't love Mandy Rose yet, but I know she's getting pushed because of how she looks rather than getting a bit more time to get
I'm not sure.
a bit more behind her.
There is an element of that, I think, but it's not like...
I only say that in the instance because like the roster's stacked now. In the past, she would have been, solid enough to probably get that, but now they've got so much talent, she's not on a par.
I kind of disagree a bit, actually. I think she's very capable in the ring. I was really impressed with a lot of her stuff. I think kind of she's got some nasty knee strikes as well.
I think she's capable. I just think she's still really limited, and I think she could. This isn't me saying I think she's rubbish. I think in a way, and Adam's going to hate me for this because I know he has other attributes, but like with Braun Strowman as well. Like I think if they get pushed too soon, too fast, they don't get that chance to.
I know
learn
Braun
more.
was pushed for his looks as well. I get that.
Yes.
But I
he's a
mean,
hunk.
like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they've been on the main roster for a while now.
I still don't think it's that long though. But what I mean is like they don't seem to have, once they're at that point, they're obviously doing lots of live events and they're doing a little touring, and actually learning more of the craft goes a bit in the wayside, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do see what you mean. I'm not sure I fully agree with you on it, but like I just think kind of with both Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, and to an extent as well, like Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, I think they've sort of skipped out a little bit on the NXT side of things, and their NXT has been almost developing their ring style with the main roster. And I think they've kind of come of age now. Like I feel like this was very much a celebration of both of their teams' tag team wrestling, which was just really on display here in a great way.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I still think a lot of them, I think they're doing great, but I think they've still got a long way to go before they're in the last two with all the teams that were in there.
I think we're going to have to move on because I don't think you two are going to agree with each other. Which is a common theme, guys.
You, me, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. But obviously the result, as you said earlier, Sam, I think most people would have thought that these two would end up winning, and we could see, from the genuine emotion and the genuine tears and the fact that the commentary team were getting choked up as well, that it meant a huge amount to them and to everybody involved. And sometimes that's okay, isn't it? It's okay to go that route. And I think these two women, the two horsemen who aren't involved in the other big feud, more than deserve it, and are very much worthy to be the first ever names on that list of tag team champs.
Have you heard where they're going to defend it on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT?
Really?
Oh, really?
Apparently. So we can look forward to Io Shirai and Kairi Sane versus Boss and Hug.
That is cool. In fact, I'm loving what
amazing.
they're doing at the moment, just because Obviously, a lot of people would have seen Raw and the NXT sort of debuts / call-ups / just appearances. I'm loving the fact that they're doing a lot of this sort of people moving across for little appearances or moving down. So we had Tyler Breeze a couple of weeks ago on NXT. We had Drew Gulak a couple of weeks ago moving across from 205 Live. If Sasha and Bayley went onto NXT to defend those titles, imagine the reaction they'd get.
Oh, huge. Yeah. Overall, greatly enjoy match. I think this is early contend. This is going to be on my shortlist for match of the year when we look back at this later on.
Well, you see, you sent that message through, and I always do a little score out when I'm making my notes. I do put a little score out of 5, just so I can sort of flick through and remind myself when we get closer to recording what I thought. And I gave this a 3. And when you said that it was one of your favourite matches that you've seen on the main roster for a while, I was like, was it? And so I went on to the Grapple app. I don't know if you guys have got that, but the app where you can enter your star ratings and you see how other people have rated things. It's quite cool. And the average score on there is also a 3. I don't know if that just says something about the type of wrestling fan who would get an app to do star ratings. But yeah. Anyway, well, what did you think, Brett? What would you give it?
I would agree with you, Adam, on this front. I did enjoy it. I wouldn't put it up of match of the year contender, but it was really entertaining.
Well, each to their own, and you're not wrong, Sam, but you're not right either. Okay, let's move on. Next Elimination Chamber match that we're going to talk about is the male Elimination Chamber match, which was for the WWE Championship. This match had the following people in it: Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, the champion Daniel Bryan, and of course Kofi Kingston, who must be so happy that Mustafa Ali got that concussion a week ago or so, because, and bloody hell, Mustafa Ali must be watching this thinking, oh, that should have been me. Yeah, unbelievable. Brett, are you a Kofi fan?
Obviously.
Yeah,
we've been bigging up Kofi for a long time now. Yeah, especially being like, the main guy that makes me love the New Day, just because he is so good in the ring.
He is.
I didn't see the gauntlet match on the week before, but just getting to see him get another singles run in a match was great.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it is a shame for Mustafa Ali, because obviously I've been surprised by the push that he's had since he got the call up, because he's basically just been in all the he's had a title match and he's been in all the big matches, and he was going to be in this main event. But very cool for Kofi, and obviously the crowd were absolutely loving it. And I genuinely believed. I was watching it and thinking, are they going to do this? Are they going to put the title on him?
No, really?
Yeah. Towards the end, the way that the crowd were going, and
the crowd definitely got behind him.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of constant to-ing and throwing towards the end, wasn't there? Like there was lots of opportunities where they made you think it might happen. Yeah,
I think so. And I loved the end of the match. And again, with the first match, I just felt like the middle bit was just too slow. There were some good spots, don't get me wrong. And there were some great wrestlers in there, but it was just slow. And I was a bit bored in the middle. But really enjoyed the last bit with Kofi and Daniel.
It was a really nice story, the way they told it. And even like the final moments of this pay-per-view with like the New Day running out and kind of being there with Kofi was really cool. What does Andrade have to do to get into one of these matches?
Oh, I know. And do you know what, when you were saying like it's for shame for Mustafa Ali, but wouldn't it have been great if there was no Randy Orton and, even though I love him, no Jeff Hardy in this match, and you could put like your Andrade and your Kofi and Ali in there.
Yeah.
Like there's so much talent, and I thought they were giving Andrade a push.
Yeah, it's a weird one. That
this is the problem that Randy Orton was in this match, so that just usually means that I'm not interested.
Yeah, and I think like it must be something different, because with the average fan, with WWE and main roster, like I think they do just love seeing Randy Orton because he's a big name. Like when they go over the top for some legends that perhaps aren't that great.
I mean, to defend Randy Orton, a strange sentence I never thought I'd say, his previous in cage-based matches is batting 1,000 here, because he's had the Punjabi prison match with Jinder, which was amazing, and then he had that match where he nearly killed Jeff Hardy in the Hell in a Cell.
I mean, I'll give you the Jeff Hardy one.
It was amazing for different reasons. Punjabi it was amazing for the Great Khali rocking up after a 10-year hiatus.
Yeah, that depends on your definition of amazing. I suppose I was amazed.
Yes, I suppose that's what I mean as well.
Yeah.
But he's always brings something special to a caged match, whether it's a screwdriver or a giant Indian man.
What did he bring to this one then, Sam?
He brought an RKO out of nowhere, which managed to kill AJ Styles, yes. I guess. That's literally all I can remember from him in this match.
A number of attempt RKOs as per usual.
Classic Orton.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we really need to chat a huge amount about this. I thought there was some nice Joe bits at the start, some stiff chops from him, but obviously he was the first lamb to the slaughter. That was always going to happen. But yeah, it was just all about that ending, and obviously a lovely touch at the end with the rest of the New Day coming out and
for sure.
really giving Kofi his moment in the limelight.
My only other bit about Randy Orton as well, and like you were saying about the middle of this match, I kept on thinking, crap, I've missed Randy Orton get eliminated, and going back. And I kept on going back and watching it and thinking, I've missed it again. And then I realised he wasn't even in the ring. And I was just going back way too soon, because going back to how long it takes to get them in. Because he hadn't even got in the ring.
Oh dear, Brett.
I was on a loop.
You were desperate to see more Randy.
I was just like, I've got to at least see him get eliminated.
Yeah, he was a bit of a non-factor in this.
Yeah. But we should give some credit to Daniel Bryan, who I thought just makes everybody look great.
Yeah, he's been killing it in his heel run. Do you know who also I think deserves a lot of credit for this match, and also kind of in the build-up, is Samoa Joe. A man often maligned on this podcast. The promos he has been cutting before these kind of leading up to this match have been incredible. Like, if you have some time, go back and check out the SmackDown promos he's been cutting. Because
I think that's one thing we have always praised him on.
Yeah. What was one of the lines he said on SmackDown?
Oh man, I just remember he got up in AJ's face and he was like, "How's our girl Wendy doing?" And
I was there was another insult.
So we lap up the Wendy stuff, don't we?
I do love the Wendy stuff. But I mean, he's been like tearing into Jeff for his alcoholism. And
I mean, that is one thing that they do let him do, and he is brilliant at.
Killing it in the promos. And I thought he was really good in this match, actually. I think, maybe the pace suited him better because there were so many people, so you could lie down for 20 minutes halfway through. But...
Yeah, I was going to say that's a great part for him in this, is that he can have his little bursts of action and then chill.
Slump for a bit, yeah. Okay, so that was the men's Elimination Chamber match, and obviously Daniel Bryan did retain. Good effort considering he was first in the ring with Joe. The next key match we picked out before was the Raw Women's Championship match between Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey. Obviously, regular listeners will know that Brett and I, massive fans of Ronda. John is too, to an extent. Sam often thinks that, sometimes it's not actually that exciting, and her matches always just end the same way. And what did we get here?
Okay, so hold up, because this match isn't really about Ronda versus Ruby
I was going to say, that's the only reason this is on our key matches, isn't it? It's not the match itself, because that was like non-existent.
It was a squash.
It's about what happened after.
This is on a key... Basically, these three matches are the key matches before the event, because it's the Raw Women's title match and it's Ronda. And I'm focusing on the match because I want to talk about this 1 minute match, which was absolutely shit and ridiculous.
It was.
And I totally get what happened after was what it was all about. But at least have a match, like at least have even 2 more minutes.
It really
Why
threw
did they
Ruby
make Ruby
under the bus,
Riott
didn't
look
it?
so awful?
It did.
Yeah, there was no need for that.
Do you know what? There's no one they can feed to Ronda anymore. She's beaten everyone.
But she doesn't need to beat Ruby that quickly.
Yeah, but
because all it's going to do is make the crowd more mad at the fact that she's being pushed like this.
It was a weird.
I was really cross.
Yeah,
I have no notes
I wasn't
apart from
I wasn't so cross, but I was just like, it's just one of those things where you know why they did it,
Yeah.
but it sucks at the same time. Like, because it was a naff match, but I guess at least it was over really quickly because it was all about the after part.
This was one of the less egregious Ronda push problems that I've had, because it was always going to be this. There was, like, as far as chances go, when we're talking about, like, oh, maybe she'll be the one to topple Ronda. Like, Ruby Riott, there's no chance in hell. She was literally turning up to do a job. And so they got it out of the way, and then they told the story they wanted to tell, which I thought they did a pretty good job with. It was...
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved what happened after.
Straight out of a fan fiction, that was. Dark Phoenix beating the shit out of Sonya Blade and female Ric Flair. Great stuff.
Yeah, actually, I say I wrote no notes. I wrote 2 notes, one of which was the how come no one has an outie sign, because that happened before this match.
Yeah, no, good
And
point.
then the other one was the Sonya Blade outfit from Mortal Kombat, and thinking that you probably would have enjoyed that, Sam.
I did enjoy that. Do you know what I enjoyed the most?
What?
Becky Lynch pretending to be handcuffed.
Yes, when she was being walked out by security, she put her arms behind like they were. Yeah, that was a good look. Actually, I agree. I thought that was great.
I mean, she was hitting the shit out of them with that crutch, with those crutches.
Yeah.
Honestly, do you see the photo? Yeah, of Charlotte. The bruises.
You see the wound on Ronda's head.
Yeah. Straight afterwards, Charlotte didn't look like... Obviously, it was going to bruise up, but she didn't look like she had any real bad things. But, like, Ronda had, like, cuts on her head, on her arm.
Yeah.
She was, like, bleeding.
Yeah, it was bad. But, I mean, like I say, I absolutely loved that. And then it made me think, okay, all right, now I know why they did that. But I still thought...
Yeah, sure.
We're talking about matches here. If you're reviewing a match, then that stuff that happened afterwards isn't part of the match. And it's part of the angle, of course, and it works. But I just thought 2 more minutes. Give Ruby a little bit of offense so that she doesn't come out looking awful. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Riot's got to have been absolutely battered for a long time now, and their time will come, like when they have a proper push. And it's just unfortunate it's kind of fallen in time with what is possibly the biggest women's angle we've ever seen.
Yeah. Can I just say I love Becky's gear as well, like the slightly Kill Bill, but in reverse.
Well, Sam just mentioned about that, didn't he? That was
X-Men.
Yeah, but yeah, no, you are right. I suppose I can't really complain about other stuff that's going on in the women's division when stuff happening at the top is so brilliant. So yeah,
I think it's cool as well because like you can kind of see how this is going to play out now to WrestleMania. Like every single time. Like, they've got the massive Becky suspension. She's just going to do the Stone Cold thing of turn up and beat the shit out of whoever's in her way until she gets her position in the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And she's going to look amazing whilst doing it.
And she's going to win.
Yeah. Can't wait. Good stuff. So those were the 3 key matches. We're now going to talk about best of the rest. So any other matches that you particularly enjoyed or moments? Anything in particular? Sam, any other matches?
Okay, cool. So this is going to be a bit of a weird one. Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman.
Wow.
I liked this.
I just got to say that when you get a no DQ stipulation, you add Baron Corbin, then you add a big guy, you're getting, this is Brett's nightmare match.
Yeah, it really was.
Oh, man.
When this started and it was no DQ and it was Braun and Baron, I was like, oh my days. I have to watch this.
End of days, more like.
Yeah. Watching Braun do his little choo-choo train round the edge again.
Hey.
Baron Corbin throws chairs like Hadokens. It's incredible.
Oh, and he couldn't quite catch it. If Braun had caught that chair, which he was trying to do, that would have looked amazing.
That was a great throw, though.
Yeah, there was. I'm gutted that John isn't here because I know that he's with me when I say that I genuinely like Baron Corbin.
Oh,
I do.
It's coming. I'm on that same train.
What a journey he's been on with this podcast. It's unbelievable.
I loved seeing him aligned with Drew and Bobby. I hope they do more with that because I'm kind of liking this trio of superpowered heels. And you're never going to dislike seeing someone being put through 2 tables, are you?
And we talk about WWE moments. that was a great moment. I really enjoyed that because it was a bit unique, to actually have them put through two of them. It looked brutal. It looked
there was
really
a
cool,
lot of choreography involved there for 3 men over 6 foot tall, and they did a really good job.
The only thing about those three teaming up is, a lot of the criticism of this is that they've been doing some of that over the past few weeks on Raw, and it's like, well, why are those two doing that? Because Baron isn't commissioner anymore, or general manager, sorry. There's no real reason for them to get involved, apart from maybe their dislike for Braun.
Don't think about it too hard. They're just three big guys beating the shit out of one bigger guy, who are then going to get done in a 3-on-1 handicap match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and when
with Nicholas,
those two guys came out, it meant the match was going to be a bit shorter.
I must say, when Strowman snapped that kendo stick on his legs, I started blushing. what a guy. Honestly, what a guy.
I think Corbin handled himself really well in this match. I thought Strowman, he's doing a job as he always does and doing a good job. It was enjoyable. I liked this.
Good. Brett, anything else you enjoyed?
I enjoyed not so much the match, but I don't know what I did enjoy.
Should we go straight to worst of the rest?
Yeah, I was really not sold on this pay-per-view.
Yeah. We have had a run of Brett not being sold on stuff, but I have to agree, I think.
I'm looking through that card and I'm trying to think, like, I didn't get a note for best of the rest, and I'm looking through it, and beyond, the moment that we've already spoken about, like after the Raw Women's match.
Yeah.
And some of the spots in the chamber, there's nothing else.
I thought this pay-per-view had a little bit of everything. That kind of makes a good pay-per-view. Not a great one, but a good one.
If I was to pick a best of the rest moment, I'd go for another WWE moment, and I know people are split when it comes to Shane O'Mac. And generally, I think he looks how I would look if I was to start wrestling, like so sweaty and sort of out of shape, and obviously a bit grey. And just,
yeah, he's so pale and grey, isn't he? And I thought he was dead.
Yeah, and he does sort of... A lot of the time it's like, oh, that looks good because he's just been beaten up, so it's as if he's selling. But I don't think he's really selling. I think he doesn't know where he is. But that leap of faith, the elbow drop, it does look great.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
You know what? He's a one-hit wonder, isn't he? He's got a few of the hits. He makes them land every time.
Yeah, people criticise his matches and say it's just like a Shane O'Mac greatest hits. But, who doesn't like listening to greatest hits of... Oh, I suppose if it's a band you don't like, then it is a problem.
Oh, I've got a best of the rest.
Yes.
Usos being the champs again.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, obviously, I'd love them.
I thought this was a good ending to this match, actually. I liked the roll-up. I thought that was quite cool.
Bit of a surprise given Jimmy's legal issues during the week, getting arrested, having that mugshot come out. Surprised they put the belts on them.
Yeah, but he's been down since day one-ish, so it's fine.
Yeah. He just had to spend one night in the Usos penitentiary, and then he was free.
Nice. Who else thought that when they were leaving and Shane and Miz was kind of cuddling or hugging Shane? Yeah. Who else thought that the skull-crushing finale, can just about say that, was coming, and it never did?
Yeah, I totally thought that was coming.
I thought Shane was going to be turning on The Miz.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Because it was The Miz's fault,
sense,
wasn't it? That's how they sort of played out the match, is that Shane was giving his all and it was The Miz who messed up. But
The Miz is a natural
you could
heel.
say it was Shane's fault for doing that stupid leap of faith thing and leaving himself prone on the table, unable to do anything else beyond that.
You could say that, yeah.
That's what Miz would say.
We all know we're getting The Miz versus Shane at WrestleMania, and we all know that's going to be on our worst of the rest list.
So this is... I realise how super dark this actually is, but at the same time we're talking about WWE, which is has no fear of this angle.
Bring it.
Right, when Miz and Maurice come out and Maurice is like, we're having a second baby. Did anyone else think this is a work? Shane McMahon is going to jump off and do an elbow and miss the Uso and fly into the crowd and land on Maurice, and they're going to have an abortion.
Do you know what? Now that you say that, because when they came out and announced that, I was like, why are they doing this? Obviously, if it's true for them, it's great news, but it doesn't feel like it, so I'm going to, on a pay-per-view, announce it before.
Yeah, if it's true for them, it was weird.
Yeah.
if it's a work, then
it's going to be mega wrong and weird.
It's going to be
it's
true.
a real classic WWE.
It's definitely true, and they're exactly the kind of people that would be like, and yes, I want to announce it.
Yeah, true.
On a pay-per-view rather than just on social media or something like that.
Even as a face, you're a wanko, Miz.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this going on to worse than the rest?
Yeah, let's do it. But let's have a little break. Let's have a little warm down. Is that what we're going to do? Maybe a little stretch. Mop our brows from the ferocious podcasting we've been doing, and talk about worst of the rest after this.
Flair's head now. Oh, man, onto the apron and down to the floor.
So, worst of the rest, we are going to talk about things that we didn't particularly enjoy, but try and put a fun spin on things, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to go first. The Special Olympics video.
Whoa, Adam. Wow.
My problem is not that the Special Olympics exist, obviously. It's that they had subtitles for someone who's speaking English. Why do they always do that in America? As soon as anybody has any slight accent, they stick the subtitles on. I'm surprised Becky Lynch doesn't have subtitles.
Complete amnesty, I fast-forwarded through.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was
Oh my God, I watched
an advert for it.
I can't watch WWE's self-congratulatory.
Yeah,
we're doing this, we're doing that. It's just like, guys, just get on with it.
Oh well, listeners, I'm sure you sat through absolutely everything and didn't fast forward anything, because why would you? But
you're a consummate professional, Adam.
Yeah. Okay. I've got another one. Maybe people saw this. Lacey Evans walks out and then walks back in.
Oh yeah, that was my worst of the rest.
Yeah, when did that happen, and why did it happen? I've forgotten.
It happened just before the main event.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So she's going to be given a major push, apparently. And so the writers want to kind of raise Lacey Evans' awareness. And so the way they've done that, rather than inserting her into an angle, rather than having a promo, it's just, let's just play her music, have her practice look a little bit of walking, then have her come back to the backstage, and that's that. So it's a bold angle. Let's see if it pays off.
Like maybe have her watch a match or something, and then have the comms team going, "Oh, okay, so why is Lacey interested? Oh, this is." But it was odd.
Adam, careful. That kind of logic could make you a WWE writer.
Yeah, if you hadn't have mentioned this, it wouldn't have happened in my mind, even though I saw it.
Yeah,
I am very grateful you mentioned it, because I actually thought I might have imagined it.
Yeah. It's true, because it could easily just mesh with other wrestling memories and things that you've seen on various shows, because nothing happened.
I'm not going to lie, the WWE writers, they've done their job. They've got Lacey Evans in my head, because I did have her theme tune stuck in my head after that.
Yeah, I've got it in my head now, and we're giving it airtime, so it is working. Let's move on. Brett, what's your worst of the rest? And let's keep it relatively brief, okay?
Yeah, mine will be brief, and I guess it might be a little bit harsh, but it's someone that I usually love. It is The Miz. He just seemed so slow in that match with Shane. Like, everything he was executing just seemed laboured. And I was like, what's up, The Miz? You're usually consistently great. And I just thought he was rubbish.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I did sort of think they were just making him look a bit poor and trying to get Shane to look good,
maybe. Maybe that was it. I was just like, just everything you're trying to do looks lame in this match.
Yeah.
Brief mention for Bobby Lashley, not a fan.
Oh God, no! Don't care about him one bit.
Lashley.
I mean, obviously, referring to that match, we should congratulate Finn Balor. I think I said after the Rumble, he should go for the Intercontinental title, and he listened. He listened to the pod. He went, "Yeah, I think I should go for that." And,
did you get an Irish accent?
Yeah. Oh God, no! I'm not doing it. My Irish accent always comes out like Northern Irish, and
isn't that where it's from?
No. I don't think so.
I don't know where Bray County Ireland is.
No. Let's move on. Okay. Irish listeners,
cool.
We have nothing but respect for you. So that's cool that he won the Intercontinental Championship, even though it was made, it was all about Bobby and Leo, and Finn had to beat Leo to get it, and wasn't a particularly strong win, even though he beat two people, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's beating a story, I think.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Let's move on from that to star performer. So we're going to pick somebody who we think deserves the most credit from this pay-per-view. I nearly said John then, That's how desperate I am for John to be on this podcast. Brett, who's yours?
Oh, you're going for me first.
Yeah. Why don't you have this ready, Brett?
I'm going to go Kofi.
Kofi, yeah.
Kofi, Kingston, because we love
Very good
Kofi.
choice. Sam?
Lacey Evans. In and out, doesn't get paid by the hour.
And this is someone who said he really enjoyed the pay-per-view.
Kofi Kingston, easily.
Yeah, we'll have to go for the Kofi hat trick. You can't give it to anyone else, really. It's really nice to see him have his moment. And obviously, I know that he's been a phenomenal wrestler for ages, and he's had his singles runs in the past, but not for bloody ages. So really cool to see WWE giving him that push. Time to give the pay-per-view an overall rank. 10 out of 10 from Sam, I'm assuming. Brett, what are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a 6. Because there was stuff that I enjoyed, but yeah, I was thinking of going lower, but no, 6 is fair.
So just to clarify, listeners, Brett has given Elimination Chamber 2019 the same score he gave WrestleMania 17. That is insane.
It's a scale that goes from 6 to 6.
Yes. One more and then the devil will appear.
I'm actually going to give this a 5.5 because I just didn't. I'm going to admit that it's probably me more than the pay-per-view, okay? It's me, not you, Elimination Chamber, because I just wasn't really feeling it as I was watching it, and I got annoyed in the middle of the Elimination matches, the Chamber matches, and nothing else particularly stood out, and I think I'm going to forget most of it. So, yeah, 5.5 for me. Sam?
I'm going to give it 7.5, just because I thought the Elimination Chambers matches were very good. The rest of it, I thought it was inoffensively good, kind of like a good episode of Raw with some title changes.
Okay. And so the average is?
Overall, that's 6.3 recurring.
6.3 recurring. For the listeners that don't understand what that means, it's 6.33333333333333. Okay, that puts it pretty low down on the chart. It's in between TLC and SummerSlam 2018. So, yeah. A pretty much run-of-the-mill WWE pay-per-view. Not horrendous, but not that brilliant either. Like a lot of the WWE pay-per-views that we talk about. Do you ever find yourself just thinking of all the wrestling going on in the world that we're not watching for whatever reason, and we watch all of this? I don't watch any New Japan. I'm behind on Progress. I don't watch any Fight Club Pro, even though I said I was going to start watching that. I haven't got round to it. I'm behind on NXT, and here I am watching
inoffensive
every single WWE
pay-per-view.
Yeah, what have we done? What have we done, guys?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we don't talk about the takeovers, really, do we?
No, I think we're going to have to start reviewing takeovers.
But I do watch some New Japan, so I think
New Japan is a shambles at the moment. So.
Yeah. Certainly not loving the Jay White.
I have strong opinions.
Yeah.
Strong unaired opinions about Jay White. Okay.
Anyway, right, let's move on. We're being fairly negative, but that's just the way it goes. Let's have a sting, and we'll come back with the very positive and very fun hardest question of the week.
Question of the week.
Okay, so I said it was positive, but actually it's a negative one because I asked on Twitter on Sunday if you had to put 3 wrestlers into the Elimination Chamber for the rest of eternity, never to be seen again, who would they be? And we had quite a few responses to this. Obviously, a lot of wrestlers that people aren't keen on that they never want to see. Old Mr. Bifface said the Forgotten Sons. Bye, lads. Which I think is very good because
forget them.
Yeah, very boring on NXT. The worst thing on NXT, quite possibly. Bitter End Wrestling said Nia Jax, Tamina, and Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox?
Oh, come on, get out.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Alicia Fox. I've got to agree with Tamina. She did come up a few times. Gihan said Bo Beverly, Nails, and Paul Roma. What a selection.
God, some old names there. Nails. Can't put nails in the chamber. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
you can.
It's a weird thing to think that you don't ever want to see nails again, as if we see nails regularly.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's fine, Gihan. It's your decision. Canvas Countdown said Randy Orton, Tamina, and Jinder, which I think is a...
Poor Tamina. 2
choice.
votes for Tamina to stay in the chamber.
Canvas Countdown also then came back with another tweet to say Diesel, Kevin Nash, and Oz.
Yep, good choices.
Capital Clamface said Heidenreich, Snitsky, and the Great Khali. Very
would
nice
Diesel,
again.
Kevin Nash, and Oz all be in 3 different chambers, or would they just take up the one?
Well, let's stick them all in one. Let's make it really awful for them. Would you reckon to Heidenreich, Snitsky, and the Great Khali? I think again.
I mean, I disagree strongly.
Heel Nick Payne suggests Alberto Del Rio, Hulk Hogan, and Shane McMahon. Very solid 3. Graps Talk, Del Rio, Hogan, and Austin Aries.
I could get on board with Austin Aries getting in there.
Dave Clare said Dolph Ziggler, Visage, and Natalia.
Yeah.
And that's it in terms of the listeners. Sam? Who would you get
JBL, Michael Cole, and The King.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, okay, fine, fair. Brett?
Oh, well, I was going to go Baron Corbin.
Of course.
Baron Corbin and Baron Corbin.
Oh, poor
It's very similar to the Kevin Nash strategy.
Yeah. I would go for Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, and Tamina.
I'm starting to feel quite sorry for Tamina here.
They just mean nothing to me, those 3. I have no connection or interest in seeing them ever.
Oh.
Okay?
No, that's fine.
Good.
Bye, Tamina.
So thanks to everybody who got in touch with their answers for that. One other quick note I wanted to say was just a quick shout out to Amir from Smart Plug Wrestling Podcast. I'm sure we have quite a few crossover listeners. He sent us some really nice messages earlier today. And so, yeah, we just wanted to say thank you very much for those. Moving on. If you listeners have any interest in listening to us again after hearing us review this pay-per-view, then you're going to have to wait, because next week we're having a break. We're having a week off, and then we're going to be back the following week, where we are probably going to do a top 5, I think. Haven't actually confirmed this with you guys.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
How exciting.
It has. We haven't
what
done
was our
one.
last top 5?
Ooh, Bad taste moments, I think it was. Yeah, episode number 48, top 5 bad taste moments. God, that was
we
a good
could do that again when they update the Maurice angle.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're going to pick. If listeners, if you guys have any ideas for what you might like to hear us talk about in terms of top 5s, then get in touch. Maybe we'll pick a couple and put a poll out there and let you decide what we do. But that will be in 2 weeks' time, as I said. Until then, Brett, do you want to let people know how to get in touch?
They can send the electronic mails to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com. You can get us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, where we are at hardestpartpod, and they can check out our shop where we have t-shirts and badges and stuff. We are hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. And thank you to everybody for listening. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Until then, it's goodbye from me, Adam. Goodbye from Sam.
See ya.
Goodbye from Brett.
Ta-ra.
And that was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part